All right, gonna have to do the thing with the glasses on again. I need reading glasses now since I'm so old. Anyway, Hosanna, hey Zanna, 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 ho, Zanna, hey, Zanna, Hosanna. Hey JC, JC, won't you fight for me? Zanna, ho, Zanna, hey, superstar. Superstar of the super human human supremacy. Anyway, we didn't get it. White robe, bare feet, no killing. Prince of Peace, forgiveness, forgiveness, even though, all that kind of thing. Turn the other cheek. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's Palm Sunday, folks. Happy Palm Sunday. It's kicking off Holy Week, Ash Wednesday, Palm Sunday, Easter. It's a big deal here in Portugal, a Catholic country. And people are all going to church today. And I hope they pray on Gaza because I wonder sometimes what Jesus is thinking about Gaza up there in heaven or wherever Jesus hangs out. Um, in the hearts of people, in the hearts of man, in the hearts of human beings. I don't know. I really don't know. Christian Zionism, what's that? Uh, it seems like we're constantly beating the war drums, just waiting to kick off another conflagration. What am I listening to now? I'm listening to a book um, about bombing World War II and so on. And it's exciting. It's called Black Snow. Let me have a quick peek.
German cities. But Germany still fought. And fought. Even after Harris's staggering blow to Hamburg, factories rebounded to 80% capacity in just 5 months. Hamburg had shown that destroying a city, as Italian General Giulio Douhet once advocated, did not guarantee victory, particularly in a totalitarian state like Germany, where the Nazi Party had.
So, yeah, lots of research about how firebombing cities doesn't make people quit fighting. The Blitz, they bombed the hell out of London, the Nazis, and the Brits bombed the hell out of Germany, and America bombed the hell out of Germany. Hamburg, Dresden, they firebombed Tokyo like crazy. According to this book, they set up villages in Arizona built out of the same materials as Japanese houses to drop napalm on them to see if it was the right kind of munition to ignite a firestorm with those kinds of materials on the ground. So, what's the best combination of napalm and explosives to make sure that the city burns? They experimented and they got the formula right. And Curtis LeMay went and did the job. Anyway, you know the history. So what, right? The good guys won. Everything's safe for uh, neoliberal libertarian capitalism and the reign of progressive West, democracy and freedom. So everybody's going to do their Christian thing today and probably forget about the peace side of it all, the love side of it all, which is kind of sad. It really is sad. We just don't get it. I don't know if it's in our nature. I know we can get it in the right circumstances, under the right circumstances, with the right kind of environment and culture, and we can live in peace. Look around you. But it's still, there's way too much mayhem going on in the world for my taste. And I think it's utterly, completely preventable. But People are just suffering from this religion, this socioeconomic religion that we all live under. And it is a religion, it's a cult. And they just don't want to get over it and move on and become natural human beings. They just can't do it. Too many addictions, seven deadly sins, dark tetrad leadership, and all that. So Indica put up a piece on Palm Sunday. They just bomb hospitals now. I remember when there was a stupid debate about whether Israel bombed hospitals. Now there's just a stultifying silence. So America bombs water supplies in brave Yemen. Across the whole empire, they just disappear anyone with half a conscience. This is just who they are, and they don't care who knows it. This is who they always were, because hindsight is 2020. All the debates are dead, and all the death speaks for itself. All that's left is the killing and a chilling silence. Even from my own mouth. What's left to say? They bomb hospitals now. They always did. That's the first paragraph. And, it's all there. So he puts up this graphic, the 10 stages of genocide. So I'll go to the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust and read those off to you. And you can decide what is genocide. So number one, classification. The differences between people are not respected. There's a division of us and them, which can be carried out using stereotypes or excluding people who are perceived to be different. What do we have? Do we have a check on that one? Do they dehumanize Palestinian people? Do we do it? They put up 60 Minutes had a wonderful documentary about Putler and how he disappears his enemies. As if, four fingers pointing back at you when you point your finger at someone. Every accusation is a confession and so on. As if Uncle Sam doesn't disappear his enemies. As if all the Goombas and the gangsters in the United States don't do that. Forget about ecocide, the sixth extinction, Anthropocene, all that stuff. Doesn't matter. Ocean acidification, doesn't matter. Just pave, mow down the Amazon and put a bunch of cows on it. Doesn't freaking matter. We do everything for the right reasons. When another leader kills their enemies, oh my goodness, how terrible it is. No confession, no going to the church and confessing your sins. Mustn't do that, mustn't confront our own failures. So, symbolization. This is a visual manifestation of hatred. Jews in Nazi Europe were forced to wear yellow stars to show that they were different. What do you think? Maybe not. Discrimination. Ka-ching. Check. The 1935 Nuremberg laws stripped Jews of their German citizenship, made it illegal for them to do many jobs or to marry German non-Jews. Check, check, check. We see it happening today. Unless you're blind or willfully ignorant, you see it. Dehumanization. Those perceived as different are treated with no form of human rights or personal dignity. During the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, Tutsis were referred to as cockroaches. The Nazis referred to Jews as vermin. So what do they refer to the folks down in the Middle East as? I don't want to get censored. I don't want to make somebody mad. So you look it up yourself. What do they call them? Check. Organization. Genocides are always planned. Regimes of hatred often train those who go on to carry out the destruction of a people. They're going to build a resort on the Mediterranean. Are they making any plans? Ethnic cleansing, put them in Somaliland or somewhere. Just relocate them, herd them off. If you can't herd them away, kill them all. Check, check. Jesus riding a donkey colt into Jerusalem, a humble display. Not that of a warrior king with a submachine gun at his side or a sword, and more on the organization part with Chris Hedges in a minute. Polarization. Propaganda begins to be spread by hate groups. The Nazis used the newspaper Der Stürmer to spread and incite messages of hate about Jewish people. Check. And, you can't say anything in lamestream media about this because you'll be, accused of being a bad person. You'll be deported. You'll be imprisoned, blackballed, cast out. Preparation. Perpetrators plan the genocide. They often use euphemisms such as the Nazi phrase, the final solution, to cloak their intentions. They create fear of the victim group, building up armies and weapons. Think of all the lies that were spread day one when this whole horror started. Forget about who started it, right? Because to do that, you have to go back decades and decades and decades. And even further, if you want to look at the whole history of the Middle East. Who started it? My God. Persecution. Victims are identified because of their ethnicity or religion, and death lists are drawn up. Check. People are sometimes segregated into ghettos. Check. Deported or starved, and property is often expropriated. Check. Genocidal massacres begin. Check. Oh boy, we're checking them all, aren't we? Extermination. The hate group murders their identified victims in a deliberate and systematic campaign of violence. Check. Millions of lives have been destroyed or changed beyond recognition through genocide. You can do a tally once you dig the place up to lay the foundations for your Mediterranean resort, if you want to do an honest tally and find all the bodies under the bounced rubble. But at the end of the day, it will have been millions of people affected, displaced, murdered, destroyed, burned, killed, executed, and all while the world just sits back and watches. So, it's a devastating, horrific event, and it continues. How many years? How many years? Denial. The perpetrators or later generations deny the existence of any crime. Wow, we got there fast. In a few months, denial. Continued denial, denial, right up to this day, denial. And there's a wonderful video here on this website, the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust, where they talk about genocide. And actually, the video has images of the Middle East with those people, those dehumanized people. So some people get it. So Chris Hedges is talking about it, and he says, Israel is about to empty Gaza. The government backed by the Trump administration that sends the flight fuel and the bombs, sells them the weapons, finances the whole thing, and talks openly on television with Net and Yahoo about... so they're laying the groundwork for full expulsion of Palestinians from Gaza, a move that has the potential to ignite a regional conflagration. So he talks about what's going on with Turkey and Egypt and Iran and so on, and what's happening to people there. Um, Israel has been carrying out relentless bombing and shelling against civilians, killing over 1,400 Palestinians, wounding over 3,600, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. The average of 100 children are being killed daily, according to the United Nations. Big shrug. What would Jesus think? What does Jesus think? Big shrug. Who cares, right? They're getting ready to push him into the Sinai. Uh, let's see. Finance Minister echoing Katz said Israel would not lift the total blockade until Hamas was defeated. Everybody is Hamas, right? Because if you're against anything that the state does, the nationalists do, you're Hamas. So there's 59 hostages left. Not even a grain of wheat will enter Gaza, he vowed. So there's got, the starvation is horrific. You see pictures of that. It's pretty nasty. So Egypt cannot sit idly by in the face of such threats and must prepare for all possible scenarios. So people are getting ready for a wider war. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Meanwhile, there's going to be chaos in Syria and other places. We have nothing better to do with the polycrisis than finance these wars and bomb poor people. Because if you have a conscience and try to stop a country from blockading these people, you're mercilessly bombed. Not that much Western trade actually goes through the Suez, but, to Europe and the United States. But, God forbid, have a trade war and then bomb people because you're lying about ships not being able to go through the Suez Canal. Anyway, lots of people do good journalism on all this stuff. And nobody seems to care. The propaganda, the narratives that we're expected to believe are typical. And most people are just going to go with that because, it feels terrible to think about what's going on over there. Cognitive dissonance and all that. Pangs of moral anguish. Maybe you have a little sudden jolt of compassion that throws your day off and ruins your life. Stuff like that. So the genocide is a recruitment dream for Islamic militants. Make more freaking fanatics. Washington and Israel must, on some level, understand the cost of this savagery. But it appears as though they accept it, foolishly trying to obliterate those they have cast out of the community of nations, those they refer to as human animals. The genocide in Gaza is the greatest crime of this century. It will come back to haunt Israel. It will come back to haunt us. It will usher to our doorsteps the evil we have perpetrated on the Palestinians. You reap what you sow. Where did that come from? You reap what you sow. What is that? Biblical, is it? We have sown a minefield of hatred and violence. And no matter how powerful you think you are, and you think the UK is, and you think the United States of America is, with all its allies and its bases and its missiles pointing at China and all this stuff, it isn't that powerful. And in the face of our fate, which will be determined by the circumstances of the polycrisis, of which, climate change or global heating is just a symptom, and Donald Trump is just a symptom, and all of the toadies around him and all of the fanatics and idiots in Belgium and in Washington, all these crazy lunatics. I can't look at any of them now and not think that they're not cultist fanatics and just plain evil, just plain evil. And I understand how difficult it is for people to parse what's true, what's not true, with all the fire hose of information being thrown at us 24/7. And it's hard to vet sources and it's hard to read books. And, you know, life is hard when you're a pimp, right? Life is hard when you're a pimp. You know, we want to have all our cheap shit, but we don't want to import it from China. So you get your computers and your phones, but other things, right? It's so absurd. We should be collaborating and working with each other across cultures to solve problems. And we should be allowing different countries in different places to do what they do, to be who they are, what they are, and leave them alone. If you terrorize people and bully them and sanction them and treat them like garbage, you're going to have problems. It's just normal. And it's not necessary to do it. But the players don't care because they make money regardless. I think the market system is evil, to be honest. I don't care about it anymore. I get it, you know, money's nice and stuff is nice and, you know, status is nice and competition can be fun. And we're all just more or less programmed from day one to turn into whatever we turn into based on our beliefs and our life experiences and education, whether we were loved or not, or abused. It's complex, but I think, you know, on a day like today, if you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Sikh or a Buddhist or whatever you are, a secular humanist,
Società guida il processo storico civile di compare di figli adorati e glorificati delle che fanno per il profeta. Per l'Iglesia una
you might want to pause and reflect on this and decide if you're going to opt out or not in whatever way you can, whatever small way. If you're going to say, no, 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 this is not right. And I'm not going to stand for it. Of course, you can't say that to your friends and family because they'll get upset because it might make them feel like you're suggesting they're hypocrites or they're not nice people. And we know everybody's nice, right? Everybody's nice. So many nice people all over the world. We're all so nice. But I just wonder why we don't have the courage of our convictions. So if you are religious or not, pray on it, meditate on it, think about it, put your logic on it, put your rationale on it, put your philosophy on it, and figure it out. What do you think? Are you excited that some people can lord over other people? And, you know, the last time, you know, the West was involved with stirring a hornet's nest up in the Middle East, it created a lot of tension, a lot of refugees, a lot of death. I don't know why we never learn from our mistakes, but modernity, progress, technology, industrialization, globalization, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And at the end of the day, it's an omnicidal killing machine. You just won't notice it until it's at your doorstep. And by then, it'll be too late. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry for the downer message, but I do wish you a happy Palm Sunday and Holy Week. We could make peace, you know? Maybe we couldn't, you know, reason with the Scythians when they blew through the village. But, you know, I think today uh, we have so much in common with one another if you travel around. It's mind boggling. I think we could make peace. Well, think about the gangs in the States, in the UK, and France, and whatever. Why? Why are we creating these pathologies? It has to stop. Our system is no good. We got nice stuff, I get it, you know, but It's not good. It has to change. Take good care. Buli am ti.